Sin. What is sin? I grew up being told that there are some things that I do that makes me a sinner, and I also grew up being told that there are some things that I have to do to make me a righteous person. So I grew up with the idea of being already condemned, being already a sinner, being already unworthy. Now, what does Shashi have to say about this? This is where our question for the day is. Scholars of Isheshe, you're welcome to class. This is your university, Isheshe University, where we will be breaking Isheshe down to you as simple as ABC. And I am just a teacher. My name is Ogundare Oluwashun Janet, and this is Living in Iwakbele. When I was a Christian, there was one part of the Bible that I really loved, and I always use that as a mantra. And that verse says that a ó bẹ̀ṣẹ̀ baba wò lára ọmọ láti ìran kìíní dé ìran kejì. In English, it means that we will ask of the children the sins of their father from the first generation to the seventh generation. Now, when you want to even look at this verse in the Bible, how then do you think that there's actually forgiveness for sin? There is no forgiveness for sin. Let me explain. You see, I think that Abrahamic religion is highly flawed and lacks accountability. And of course, this point of view is completely mine. It might be different from yours. Please feel free to engage in the comment section. Let us share different opinions. But this is entirely my opinion, having deconstructed from Christianity that I have known for the past 30 plus years of my life. So I am saying this from my own point of view. Thank you. Now, Abrahamic religion allows you to blame everything else but yourself for your own actions, which means that when you sin, you are free to blame it on the devil, blame it on something else, most especially blame it on the Irun Mole that was just minding his own business, Jeje issue. We will say Ishe issue ni. Now, what I want you to know is that in Isheshe, there is no sin and there is no forgiveness. No, because these concepts are fully foreign to our own culture. There is no sin and there is no forgiveness. There is only what? Decisions and consequences. Decision and consequences, then your decision and your conscience. Now, Abrahamic religion says that when you've done something wrong to someone, you are free to go into either a religious gathering or to go on your knees and ask for forgiveness. You are not conditioned to go back and find whoever it is that you committed this crime against. Anything that you do in Abrahamic religion says that you have sinned against the will of God, you understand, and you have come short of the glory. And what you have to do is to confess your sins, and then you will be forgiven. When you are forgiven, especially when you now become born again, then you are made whole. There is nowhere in that context that you are asked to go back and make amends for your mistakes to the person that you made that error to. Everything that you do is against God. Now, when you steal a goat, does the goat belong to God or does it belong to Iyasilifa? When you slap someone, did you slap God's face or do you slap the face of Badakamoru? Now, when truly you are repentant of whatever crime it is that you have committed against these people, what is the natural thing to do? Is it for you to ask someone else away from these two people for forgiveness? Now, does that give back the ghost of Iyasilifa? Does that soothe the pain of Boda Kamoru? No. So, how then do you think that you have been forgiven for that sin? The Bible says that what you have done will be asked of your children from the first to the seventh generation. Now, so many of us are here. We are experiencing turmoil, and this is actually one topic that we always like to deny. You see, so many of us, our fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-grandfathers, even our grandmothers, great-grandmothers, they were horrible people. Now them be this, now devil be this. Some of our ancestors were the ones that were selling their kinsmen to slavery. Some of our ancestors, they were murderers, killers. They did the most horrible things. However, we are here now suffering for things that we don't know anything about. We are here now experiencing things, you understand, that we cannot explain. Many of us don't know that we are part of maybe the first to seventh generation that is paying for the sins of the ones that came before us. I will relate to videos. Remember Black Panther? The father killed his brother, thought he had already buried it, went ahead to live a fairly good life, but then he was killed at this conference, and then T'Challa became king. Now, his father created an imbalance in the cosmic system by leaving the son back in the USA, thinking that okay, that chapter is already closed. However, the son found the mark of the panther in his father's chest, and he was planning revenge. That is Killmonger, the nephew, T'Challa's cousin. Now, he had already died and gone. Who had to deal with the consequences of his own actions? His children. His family had to deal with consequences. That is for you to know that these things, this imbalance that we create in the universe always hangs in the air, waiting for the right time to come back and strike us. So, do you really get forgiven, or are you living in delusion? What is sin? What is forgiveness? When you look at it from the lens of morality and of course from logic, when you are able to know that this is wrong and this is right, so what is sin? What is forgiveness? When you sin in Abrahamic, as if you are sinning against a deity, but in Yoruba spirituality, when you make the wrong decision, it's always against the person. So instead of you to go and ask for forgiveness from a deity, you're supposed to say what? To make retribution or to make the right decision by doing right by that person. That is the difference. So how then do you stop that ripple effect from continuing even onto the first to the seventh generation? By doing what is right to do, what to make amends now. Let us put that aside. Somebody asked me that what about people that do ogun juju, money ritual? That, what is their own consequence or something? My first answer is, number one, I have not seen it before. Are there wicked knowledge? Yes, there is wicked knowledge. You understand? There are even claims that in the Bible, there are very wicked verses that had to be removed from the Bible. And also in Islamic religion, there are people that use Islam to do bad. What I'm saying is, I know most likely that there are wicked knowledge, but have I seen it before? No. Have I somebody done Ogunwo before? No. So I cannot give informed decision on, I know, I have not seen it before. However, if I want to judge by Nollywood movies and also by even Hollywood movies, because I have a very, broad view about so many topics, you will see that anytime something is being forced to happen, for example, if somebody, using Nollywood movie, if somebody wants to do Ogunwo where people's body needs to be used to create this imbalance, you are creating a temporary ripple, you understand, an imbalance in the natural flow of things. You see, the wheel of life goes round and round, and as long as things are allowed to go in the right direction, it is going to flow for all eternity. It goes round and round. Now, when you want to, because of your own personal selfish decision, your own personal wants and need, decide that, okay, you want to turn that wheel anti-clockwise, you want to turn it the other way, you have to know that you are creating a tension. If something is actually meant to go like this, of course, it needs to be flowing, easily. But when you want to force it, you will need to apply force and tension to drag that thing the other way. Now, from what I have seen in movies, they always tell you that this Ogunwo that you want to do is only going to create an imbalance in the cosmic system for a short while. Now you can force that thing to go in a direction that it is not, its usual pattern for a very short time, but be well aware that this is actually going to bounce back, and these are the repercussion, or these are the things that you are going to have to use to settle this imbalance you want to create. That is where what you have the decision to say, oh, I am not doing this thing, or because of how selfish and greedy you are, you will say, I will go ahead and do it. Now this happened in Femi Adebayo's movie The Seven Doors. The king first forced himself to be crowned king. That's number one imbalance in the cosmic system. Then he was told that, okay, he was only going to live for, I think, maybe extra 5 years, or maybe, I don't know, I think 5 years. I can't remember. Now, he then chose by himself that, oh, he wanted to live long. So he went to go and seek the wicked knowledge of Esusu. Like I said, there are wicked knowledge. Àwọn ìmọ̀ is in the world. Those that have access to it, they have access to it. So he wants to go and seek the ìmọ̀ of Esusu, and Esusu said, okay, what you were asking me is really gigantic. However, it is possible, and for you to be able to live long, you would need to sacrifice your 7 wives, and all of the lives that they were meant to live will be transferred to you. Now, he did not care about the fact that 7 different lives had to be sacrificed for his own self. He didn't care. It was about what he wanted. It was his own decision. So he went ahead and asked Esusu to sacrifice his 7 wives so that he can be able to live long. Good. Now, that was done. The 7 wives were sacrificed. But after he lived the 5 years that he was supposed to live in the universe based on the proper, turn of the wheel, 5 years, he was not turning it the other way. He ended up living for, I think, over 900 years, because the life that was transferred to him was a complete addition of who was meant to live for 25, who was meant to live for 50. So they accumulated the years and gave it to him. So after the 5 years that he was meant to live a good life, he started falling sick, because that is where that tension broke, and then everything started, counting, or the wheel started turning clockwise in the right direction. So he was now forced to deal with his own, to deal with the consequence of his own action by living out all the lives that he collected. Those lives were meant to be lived, you understand? So by cutting it short and collecting it, he had to complete everything. So he was sick. Then he started calling his chiefs that, oh, they should find solution. He wanted to die, but even when he swallows poison, nothing happens to him. Then he had to go and call Esusu, like, Esusu, what's happening? Blah 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 blah. Once again, was pushing his own decision to somebody else. You went to ask for the service was delivered. It was your decision to go for this service. Now you have started, getting the repercussion for this decision. Now, instead of you to own up to it, he chose to do what? To send the Susu away, to have them execute him or something, push him away and blame the Susu. He needed a culprit. He did not want to go down alone for his own decisions. But now, he eventually died. Just like I said that, years later, his son had to deal with that imbalance that he created. You understand? When he also became king. The same thing happened in King of Thieves, where this person was, set up and then executed so that somebody else can become king. They actually set him up, and then they thought they had already gone, they had already dealt with it. The people, the main culprits, lived, a fairly good life. They died, but then their children had to come and start dealing with their mess. So many of us are actually dealing with the mess that our own ancestors thought that they had already prayed and be forgiven for. So when you look at it that way, is there really sin and forgiveness of sin, or is there decisions, consequences, and conscience? So it is very important for us to live in ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́. You see, ẹni tó bá ní ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́, ó ti lóhun gbogbo. Ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́ is that thing, that first thought that comes to your head that tells you that what you're doing is not good. Iwa pẹ̀lẹ́ is a moment where you first, calm down to reason that, okay, this thing I'm about to do, is it going to affect the life of others? Iwa pẹ̀lẹ́ is in you being contented. You understand? Iwa pẹ̀lẹ́ is in you speaking the truth, because everything that you do today creates an imbalance that affects someone. Now, if I steal this tablet now, it belongs to someone. Someone actually spends their money to get this tablet. I took it. On this tablet might be somebody's thesis, somebody's exam answer, somebody's something, somebody's bank app, somebody's memories. Then I took it for my own selfish reasons. I don't care about that person's feeling. I don't care about the fact that that person really needs the thing. I took it for myself. That is me not being in alignment with my head, others, and also the universe. I have created a ripple effect. Now, if tomorrow something bad happens, the first thing that people will say is, no. They did not know that I stole this tablet. I have created an imbalance. Now I am being punished for it. There is no forgiveness for whatever it is that you decide to do against humanity. The only way that I can actually get forgiveness is by you doing not owning up to your errors and making amends. Now, that said, just because you've actually gone to go and ask for forgiveness does not mean that you will be forgiven. Just because you've gone to say sorry does not mean that you will be forgiven. Please, Yoruba people will say, Mashe ohun logun mamo. Don't do it. It's better than for you to be looking for forgiveness. Don't do it at all. Make that decision to do the right thing. Always think before you act, so that you don't have to go and be looking for what? For solution. Some people will do some idafa. They will say, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, whatever it is that you did then, you have to pay for it. It means that that person has done something completely terrible. Now, it might not even be the person. Some sicknesses can actually fall on someone and they will start going up and down. They will say there's no solution for it. Now, when you look at the Ifa corpus, there is something called Ogbe Fohun Folohun Korun Mo. Fohun Folohun means give to this person what belongs to this person, so that you can also have peace. It is called what? Accountability. Now, when that Odu comes out, the Babalawo will ask you and who they drag something? Which person thing there your hand? Go and give it back. Or Babalawo can tell you that, well, somebody has collected your thing. No? You understand? That person will bring it back. Now, what do you want? Do you want us to collect it from the person for you? Or do you want to go and speak to the person to return it, Jeje? So, for example, if you're thinking maybe somebody stole your thing, you get that Ogbe can come out for you. If you've stolen somebody's and you want to do Idafa, that Ogbe can come out for you. That is where Ifa does what? Gives you a chance to go and be accountable for your actions. If you go and meet somebody that maybe you probably raped now or you stole something, and you say you want to go and ask for apology, just because you want to go and ask for forgiveness, don't mean that person no fee carry, make them carry go court from court, make them sentence you to life imprisonment, or make them go, execute you. Just because you ask for forgiveness does not mean that you are actually forgiven. No, it means that you are ready to be held accountable for your actions. So there is no sin, there is no forgiveness. There is only consequences for your action. Also, there is your conscience, and then there is a decision. So when you understand it this way, it will be difficult for you to say that, okay, you want to hurt somebody, create an imbalance or an injustice, then you want to run away from that responsibility to go and apologize to someone or a deity or God that you did not commit this particular offense against. If you slap me, now me you slap, no be God. If you steal my thing, now my own thing you steal, no be God's thing, no. So no, my dear, God cannot forgive you on my behalf. Now me go fit forgive you if I won't forgive you. So me, I know if I no want forgive you, I no go want forgive you. And there is no guideline, there is no gaslighting. Like, I don't have to be like somebody. No, I only have to be like myself. And whatever it is that you did to hurt my feelings is equal to how I am supposed to get angry. So if you then come to report to me that, oh, okay, you stole my wristwatch 4 years ago, I am the one that knows how painful that wristwatch you stole for me, that you stole from me 4 years ago. I'm not, I know how painful it was. I can already said, okay, fine, for me to forgive you, I will call the boys, like the book, come back me no jala jala. So when you know that way, okay, you stole this watch now, then flog you. Will you be looking for to steal somebody else's thing? No. You understand? Accountability is very, very important so that we can be able to always think properly. Now, what you also have to understand is that when somebody is being disciplined for their actions, also sending what? A message to the rest that might be having the same thought in their head that, okay, oh, now somebody has stolen one thing or legba. Will you go and steal? No. In that way, people will learn to behave in ìwà pẹ̀lẹ́, to always think before they do anything. So there is no forgiveness and there is no sin. Whatever decision it is that you make, be ready to bear the consequences. That said, I would like to introduce you to the work of Mike Flanagan. Now, this is a foreign creator, author, movie director, and he writes peculiar movies, peculiar scripts. Now, I would want you to watch The Fall of the House of Usher. It is a series. It is just one season, or just one, but it's in series episodes. Now, when you watch this particular episode, it's on Netflix. The Fall of the House of Usher. I will attach the picture so that you know which one I'm talking about. I would like you to watch it. Like, then you'll be able to understand the deity called Eshu. You'll be able to understand crossroads. You will understand decisions and consequences. Then you will know what it means to actually be from what bloodline means. You will know how somehow the things that our forefathers did can actually affect us today. You will understand that life is not the way it is painted and that there is really no sin and there is no forgiveness. So that is your next assignment. If you can find the time and the data, you understand, please watch The Fall of the House of Usher, and then we'll talk about it in our next assignment review. So thank you. We have come to the end of the class. If you would like to join the Sheshe University closed group, where you're going to be wearing, beautiful t-shirts like me, for you to be able to rep your university anywhere, please feel free to send a DM. You are always welcome. And, we are waiting for the group to grow, substantially. Then we can start, planning our outings, maybe go to a resort, sit down, have a talk, have a drink, and just create a community that is deeply rooted in honesty and truth. So I hope you've been able to learn one or two things from today's class. Please feel free to engage in the comment section what you think about this particular topic. So my name is Ogdari Oluwaseun. This is Living in Wapele. See you in the next class and bye bye.